Okay, everyone, this is Scott Archambault with March of Dimes. Welcome to the call. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for your interest in March for Babies. We really appreciate everything you're doing. I think we probably have a mix of walkers, of staff, March of Dimes staff, and team captains. So there's probably a variety of folks on the line. There will be an opportunity for questions if you have any. And my two co-presenters are Lisa Fair, who is Director of Online Fundraising, and Sharon Cole, who is Online Fundraising Manager, and they'll be helping me with the call today. So let's just jump in and talk about how we can have a successful March for Babies campaign as a walker. So I have a few tips before I turn it over to Lisa, and since both Lisa and Sharon are the online fundraising gurus, their portion of the call will focus on tips on to use online fundraising. So let's go ahead and get started. One of the things that we recommend is that you go to your largest donor first. That will be someone who can do a little pace setting. So if you see someone has already donated $100 or $250 or something like that, we really recommend that you go to your the person who you think will donate the most, and it'll also get you that much closer to your goal that much quicker. So that's a definite best practice. Another one is to enable you to, we know that you see, you probably email, we're going to be talking about emailing your link out a little bit later, but there are also people that you encounter on just walking around day to day at the office or at home or at church or wherever. And an idea that we've seen work is if you put the link to your March for Babies page onto an index card or a business card and hand it out to people who you see in person. Another idea is to really challenge your friends to meet or beat the donation that you make yourself. And that's an important part of the campaign, is to start off with a donation from yourself. We found that people who donate themselves raise that much more money, raise a lot more money, because it shows that you have a little skin in the game. So that's always a best practice as well. But you can challenge people to say, I'm going to donate $50, and I challenge you to as well. Lisa, go ahead and continue on with some online fundraising ideas.
Okay, great. Thank you. Yep, we just pretty much assume everybody is going to go to marchforbabies.org and sign up for March for Babies. I mean, it makes fundraising so easy, because anybody who wants to donate can go online and make that donation. So even in the offline that Scott talked about, just approaching people, direct them to your fundraising page so that they can make that donation. So the first thing that I would suggest is to sign up on marchforbabies.org, and then to send 5 emails right away. Once you've signed up and you've clicked Save, the very next page you'll see is a page that says, thanks for signing up, now tell everyone, and just click the email button and send 5 emails, or click the Facebook button and post a little message on your Facebook page that says you've signed up and you're working to raise money for March for Babies, and it includes the link to your page. So if you just take that first step right away, that will really help build the momentum pretty quickly.
That's true, Lisa. This is Sharon. So sending those emails right away does make a huge difference. And the one thing I found, particularly with close family and friends, is that you have to follow up. Not getting a response, don't take that for a no. Particularly with my family, I found, everybody gets busy, so they see the email and think, I'll get back to that, I'll get back to that. So I found with my family many times I have to email them a follow-up, probably usually it's been about 3 times. And it's not that they don't want to, they're going to. I know I can count on them. It's just that they're busy and they need that reminder. So everyone out there, don't take a non-response as a no. Just give it a couple more tries.
Thank you. The next tip that I have for you is to learn the link to your page. When you've signed up online, we automatically create a March for Babies web page for you where people visit the page and they make the donation. Just learn the link to your page so that you can type it or say it anywhere at any time, and it's very simple. It is marchforbabies.org / and then whatever username you created when you signed up. So that's the link to your page. You can text it, you can type it anywhere. As long as you learn that link, you'll be able to direct people there really easily. So just learn the link is my next tip.
Yep. And a couple of things I've found, too, as well. One is, and this is really an absolute positive that I've learned over the years, and that is every time you send out an email to your groupings of people, so whether it's those 5 emails or the next 5 and so on, make sure in the subject line that you get it as personal as possible. Because I think all of us who know when we first look at our emails, we do a screen based on the subject line, based on that subject matter. So I try literally in my subject line to say something so people will know it's me, it's not junk, it's not spam, and then I want to make it even closer and more personal, talking about my children. So don't say it's time or something like that. I usually put something about the kids in there, and I think that's really important so it doesn't get screened right away. And the other thing I found that really is just a critical imperative I found is putting a personal photo on my personal page. In fact, I get comments every year now that I've been doing online fundraising about, gosh, the kids have grown. And so they look for that, and they like to see the growth and the continued growth of my children. And that's what this is all about. So make sure that you put some kind of personal photo in there. It could be your kids. It could be your team. If you're walking on a team, it could be a photo from last year. But make sure you put a personal photo in, and don't leave that default photo sitting there. And there is help getting photos in there. So if you have some problems with it, there's always help. You can click on the upper right-hand corner on the OFT page where it says help, and definitely somebody will help you with that.
Great. This is Lisa again, and the next tip that I have for you is to just tell yourself each day or every other day to send another 5 messages. Just don't let a long time lapse between doing that communication out and asking people to support you. Frequent communication is going to show people that, number one, you're committed to it, so it's something you care about, and they'll be more interested in donating to this thing that's important to you, and it will just sort of make it a little job every few days instead of some sort of a big job to send out a lot of emails. So just tell yourself every day or every other day, I'm going to send out a few more emails. I'm going to resend or follow up to those people I mailed a few days ago. Just kind of chip away at it and be consistent. The other thing that I would recommend, we also have iPhone and Android apps for March for Babies, and once you've signed up, you can just download the app and log into that, and you can do everything that you need to do from the app. One of the things that's so nice about it, it's very focused. It's extremely portable. The other thing that it does is whenever you want to email or communicate to people from the app, it accesses the contacts that are in your phone. So you don't have to import any addresses. You don't have to type any addresses. It's a great way to be able to access those addresses you already have stored on your phone and just get those communications out. So I would highly recommend using the app. In fact, we just updated the iPhone app with a whole new design and launched that in the App Store last night. So check that out, and I think you'll love it. You can do everything you need to do from there.
That's true, Lisa. In fact, I was just thinking with regards to the mobile app and phones, just as an interesting note, last night when I was watching the news, it was noted on the news, they showed pictures of the new Pope. And the numbers of people that were in the crowds that had a smartphone that were taking pictures of that event. And they compared it to, I think it was 5 or 6, whatever years ago it was, when the other Pope had been chosen. There was like maybe 2 pictures of smartphones in there. Last night on the news, there were hundreds of smartphones all taking pictures. So we know that everybody has their smartphone, and I think it's just an awesome way to do that, Lisa. So that's really a really great suggestion. The other thing I've found, too, in regards to that is that if your family and friends use Facebook, use that to ask for donations. It's just another common way to communicate using kind of social media to get people to see. A lot of my family and friends are on Facebook, and that's kind of where they look for things. So kind of spread the wealth around, spread it around of what you're doing and your efforts, and just making sure you're covering all the bases. And Facebook definitely is a good one to do that.
Yep, and building on that, Twitter, of course, Google+, LinkedIn, whatever social site is your favorite, both from the app, from the iPhone app, and from the desktop website. You can share directly from the online fundraising tool. If you just want to type in that page address that you learned into a status update or a posting, whatever you want to do, you can type that in. It fits pretty easily in Twitter. Also, it's not that long, so just whatever your social site is and where that's your favorite, just post that link every once in a while and remind people that you're still out there and you're working to meet your fundraising goal for March for Babies.
Absolutely. And also based on that, so using social media, the other thing I have found is that, particularly with my family, is that I need to change it up every now and then. So if I've been sending out emails and doing the just kind of the reminder thing, kind of midstream, if you will, I'll change it and use the animated e-card. The animated e-card, particularly if those of you out there haven't used it yet, or maybe you only used it a couple of times, it does kind of send a different message. It's fun, it's cute, and it does kind of a little jog to my family that, oh, yeah, it's time to donate. So I have seen a surge in my family in particular of making donations when they see the animated e-card. So definitely check it out, because I think you'll find it worthwhile, and it is really great fun.
And that's on marchforbabies.org, right?
Correct. Uh-huh.
Yes, it is. Yep. Yeah, I love the animated e-card. It's fun. It's to put your picture in there and then let it do its thing. One of the other things I know, just the other day I was talking to a team and somebody asked this question, and it reminded me that I should let you know to remind people that it's okay to send a check if they don't want to pay online. Some people, and that number is getting smaller and smaller all the time, but some people don't want to make the donation online. It's perfectly okay for them to write a check and give it to you as the walker, and then you'll turn it into the March of Dimes for them. So just if you think anybody is concerned about it, just mention that to them. But I'll tell you, you'll be surprised, I think, how many people will opt for online. I think my parents have been donating online for probably the last 5 or 6 years, and they're almost 80, so they're pretty comfortable with it, and most people are. But it is an option to pay by check if they don't want to go online.
Yeah, and Lisa, to tie into that a little bit too, we all know our family and friends pretty well, and my uncle, who is in his 80s as well, He loves to get my emails. He's an avid email user. He's on Facebook. But he makes it very clear that he would rather send me a check. That's just the way he does things. So just kind of know the predisposition of some of your family and friends and use the method that's important to them. But that doesn't mean that we don't send an email, because he loves getting the email. He loves seeing the messages, and he loves seeing the pictures of the kids. So in line with that, also make sure that you ask your closest friends and family right away. Kind of get the ball rolling with your closest family and friends. As Scott said, asking your largest donor first, but make sure you don't forget your closest friends and family. And then I ask my family and friends as well, it's kind of like the pyramidal effect. I ask them, now that you've seen my link, can you share that with your friends and ask them to donate? So you kind of create your own pyramid party as you're doing it. So that does make a difference, I have found.
Yeah, it does help, and they're happy to do it, particularly if you have shared, if you've personalized your page with a picture and shared a story about why you're walking in March for Babies. When those people who maybe don't know you that well or know of you, when they see that information, they're more inclined to make that donation too. And we've mentioned it, I may have already mentioned it actually, but you can easily text the link to your page. Just type in, hey, if texting is your thing, to your friends and people you know, you can just text the link and send it to them. Even if you're talking to them and asking them on, in person, I'm participating in March for Babies, would you donate? If they say yes, we talked about writing it on a business card. You can text them the link too. So you can just text that. And then, don't hesitate to get a little creative. Offer an incentive to your top donors to try and build that sense of competition. Somebody we have heard about offers to run errands. They are known as a really good cook, and they'll offer for their top donor to have them over for dinner, or they're a really good baker, and they'll give the top donor or the top 3 donors cookies, which is their specialty. If all of your friends and family have children, offer to do free babysitting. So these are things that might take a little time on your part, but they would still be an incentive for people to donate and donate as much as they possibly can. So don't hesitate to publicize those things in Facebook or wherever it is you're promoting that you're participating in online in March for Babies. Don't hesitate to just offer those little carrots out there for your potential donors.
I like that. That's a really great idea. So when are you having dinner, Lisa?
Got to wait until March for Babies to find out who my top donor is.
Oh, okay. One of the last things that I was thinking of, too, is that if you don't know this, when somebody makes a donation to your page, they get an automatic thank you acknowledgement of that donation. So if you haven't used, if this is your first time to OFT, any donor will get an acknowledgement of that donation, as well as you'll get notified of that. I don't leave it at that. I'm glad that it's instantaneous so that the person knows that the donation was made. But I definitely like to, when I see that, I definitely like to go in and I do a personal thank you, particularly to, I have several large donors, and I want to make sure that they know that I'm grateful, because everybody knows the other one is automated. So I send a personal thank you, and to some of my larger donors, I even actually hand write a thank you card to them, because it makes a difference to me, and I want them to know that.
All right. So those are some good tips. Does anyone have any questions or tips of their own, I suppose, if you'd like to share?
I actually have a question. For me to put my photo on my my photo on my page, I do most of mine on my phone. Would I have to download the app to do that?
Actually, Yes, if you're doing it on your phone, you'll need to download the app. Our website is optimized for mobile use, but I know that when you log in and go to personalize your page, it it won't browse to your photos on your camera. So but if you download the app, which is free by the way, if you download the app, you can easily bring in any a JPEG photo from your
Okay, great.
phone. Mhm.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks for using your phone. We love it.
Any other
Do you have any other suggestions? I'm having a lot of problems raising money. I mean, I've asked all of my family, I've asked a lot of people at work, and I'm having a lot of problems raising money.
Well, I think in addition to the things that we've just said, maybe just remind them that every $10 helps. You'd need to and that it doesn't have to be a huge donation. Of course, we all love those huge donations, but if you could get them to give you even $10 towards it, that would get you going, and hopefully they would. It doesn't have to be a large amount. I think our minimum donation online is $5. So they could easily do that, or if they give you the money and you can just record that you've received it and then turn it in later.
Okay.
Maybe a little humor. What I found that worked one year with my family is that because they were just kind of slow off the starting gate to donate, I got creative and just said, look, I know you hate my Christmas newsletters every year when I send it out because they're boring. So I promise for 1 year I will not send out one newsletter about the things that we're doing with the family. And that just lit up my donation tree. So sometimes you have to get a little creative, I think.
One other idea, I don't know if you have a personal story related to March of Dimes, but sometimes if you make it represent represent something, so perhaps if your baby spent 10 weeks in the NICU, maybe you ask for $1 for every week he or she spent in the NICU, or if your baby weighed 3 pounds, then maybe you ask for $10 for every pound your baby weighed, or something like that. If it's symbolic of something, that may draw people to donate.
Oh, that's really good. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I have one tip, actually.
Oh, great.
Great.
As far as recruiting for donations in your local area, you'll probably have a lot better luck talking to local restaurants, local stores, as opposed to nationally chain stores or restaurants. The chain stores, the national brands typically already have their advertising dollars earmarked, either for a regional or national level. So if you talk to somebody who's local, they have a lot more control over how they can spend their own money. They're not going to have to go through as much red tape or have to talk to as many people above them. They can determine how they want to spend their money in their local area. They are going to have more freedom with that money. They may not be able to give as much as a larger store or a larger restaurant, but you may have better luck talking with them because they don't have all of the extra overhead to deal with.
Okay,
Great.
thank you.
That's really good. And the other thing you can do with that is that since it's local, and a lot of people really like to feel that their donations are doing something locally, is touch base with your local chapter or a March of Dimes representative in your local area and find out the things that maybe the area hospitals are doing, the NICUs are doing. And so you can create a tie-in between that local business and the fact that that money is helping this local group of babies. So kind of, circle it around and say everything is local here. Indeed.
Yeah, definitely. Good.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, any other questions or tips? Okay, well, thank you very much. And good luck on your fundraising. And if you have need any more help, we have a phone number that you can call. Lisa, what is the online fundraising helpline?
The online fundraising helpline is 888-274-3711. So you can call that number and they'll answer or leave a message and they'll get back to you. Also, as Sharon mentioned, if you do happen to be on our website, there's a contact us or an email us at the bottom, and you can do that if you have any questions or concerns. If there's anything related to this call that you wanted to follow up on, just include that in your message, and they'll forward any of that information or your question on to us, and we can help you out. So hopefully that helps, and thank you so much for joining us. And like Scott said, good luck with your fundraising, and everybody have a good weekend.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.